police aren't releasing that information, but the police chief, Tony Flowers, does tell me that the shooting was not random. Now, I talked with the woman's close friend who says that she was happy and more than ready to welcome home her new baby. Police say 31-year-old Vanessa Cross lost her life in a shooting Wednesday night at her home here on Wallace Circle in Marion. Police say her two children, ages 7 and 4, were in the home when she was shot. Officers tell me the 7-year-old went next door to a neighbor and told them that his mother had been shot. Cross's close friend says her heart goes out to the children. She is worried that the person who killed her friend hasn't been caught. She talked with me, but didn't want her face shown or her name released.
When I heard that she was gone, my heart dropped. My first instinct was to find the kids and make sure they was okay.
Police say the kids are okay and with a relative. Officers tell me they have a person of interest, but that person isn't in custody. Marion Police Chief Tony Flowers says he talked with the solicitor's office and they gave him the okay to charge the shooter with murder of the baby as well, because the mother was more than 30 weeks pregnant. Her close friend says they planned a baby shower for her this week, but sadly, Cross and her unborn baby didn't survive the shooting.
She was just excited. Actually, her baby shower was the day before yesterday. It was supposed to be the day before yesterday.
Firefighters have been relentlessly trying to contain the spread. According to the National Interagency Fire Center, there are 97 active large fires across 9 states, and 13 of those are in Washington. And that is where we find 75-year-old Bill Martin. He's a volunteer with the South Carolina region of the American Red Cross, who's actually the only person from the state to deploy.
And Martin did receive a call Tuesday night about 10, he says, informing him of his deployment. By Wednesday night, he was on the West Coast. He is all part of the wildfire initiation team, which relieves the local and regional Red Cross staff who have been operating shelters for months. As a volunteer for the past 25 years, Martin says he is no stranger to these wildfire deployments. Last year, he provided aid to those impacted by the wildfires in Oregon.
But it's just a good way to serve people. Because we're not operating shelters right at this moment, although the wildfires could kick up again where we need to open up shelters. This weekend, we are working on a special project in a community of Packwood, which is under a lot of stress because they had to evacuate multiple times, and we're going out and preparing them or helping them to prepare if they ever have to evacuate again.
When a tragedy struck the community, the body of an infant found abandoned in the woods, shocking neighbors, bringing them together for years to come, in fact, and the baby became known as Baby Boy Horry. We've been following this case ever since then, and here's what we know tonight. Baby Boy Horry was found wrapped in a blanket in a tote bag off Meadowbrook Drive off of Highway 544 on December 4th. With no sign of who the baby's parents were, he became known as Baby Boy Horry. Now, officials say he was born alive at the time investigators believed he would have survived if he had gotten medical attention. Horry County Coroner Robert Edge said he lived only 1 day before the body was found. Just 2 weeks later, community members gathered to lay Baby Boy Horry to rest. Now, he was buried over at the Hillcrest Cemetery in Conway. Over a decade passed before there would be any breaks in the case. March 2020, Horry County Police announced they had new information in the case. Jennifer Saar, the baby's mother, was arrested and charged with 1 count of homicide by child abuse. Police say scientific evidence confirmed that Saar was Baby Boy Horry's mother. Now today, Saar appeared in front of a judge and took a plea agreement. She pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. The prosecution and defense presented arguments to the judge. He accepted Saar's guilty plea, avoiding a trial. ABC 15's Joel Vasquez, though, joins us now live in studio. Joel, you were at this hearing today. Tell us what happened.
Andrew, the judge called this case unique. After hearing the arguments from both the prosecution and the defense, the judge ordered an investigation before he decides on a sentence, a decision he says doesn't happen too often.
Every single person in this courtroom says, I'm sorry. I am truly sorry. I am sorry.
Saar's emotional apology to the court for not getting help the night she gave birth to Baby Boy Horry. Today, the prosecutors argued that evidence shows Sar's baby was alive when she left him in the woods in early December 2008.
The child was alive at some point in time, and then obviously at some point in time the child was deceased.
However, Sar's attorney claims that she didn't know she was pregnant because her body didn't show any signs. He says when she gave birth in her Coastal Carolina dorm room, there was no indication that the baby was alive.
No movement, no crying, no nothing. She believes that at that point in time that the child was not dead.
A man who prosecutors say is the baby's father also spoke in court today. New DNA technology linked him to Baby Boy Horry. He read a letter about never being able to meet his son.
I question God, why him and why me? The pain is always there lingering. It hurts just as much from day one as it does now.
Sar's father spoke on her behalf, calling her a role model.
There are 3 words that define her: as patient, someone with empathy and compassion.
After listening to everyone, the judge said he needed more time to make a decision and ordered a pre-sentencing investigation.
This is such a unique situation. I've got to have some help. This table over here is justice. This table over here is mercy.
Horry County Coroner Robert Edge, who held a memorial for Baby Boy Horry every year until the suspect was arrested, tells me he thinks the hearing has brought the community some closure.
We know who he is and who he belonged to. They just have to adjust their lives to live with it and continue on as best as they can.